He casually tore down a piece of curtain and tied it around the model's waist. The dress that had looked dull and stiff suddenly became playful and elegant. At that moment, one of the most iconic designs in fashion history was born. And this man who looked ordinary on the outside was none other than the founder of YSL Yves Saint Laurent. At 4 years old, he was already giving his mother advice on what to wear. At 7, he was sewing clothes for dolls with his own hands. At the age of 19, after winning multiple awards, he was directly recruited by Dior. At that time, 1/3 of Dior's clothing came from Yves's designs. 4 years later, after working at the company, Mr. Abdior passed away. The board of directors decided to appoint the very young Yves as artistic director when reporters asked if he had the confidence to handle the job. Yves shyly said, "I don't know either, but I will give it my all," and in fact, he really did. He turned down unnecessary social events and parties, locked himself in a small room, kept sketching and drawing, constantly studying the dresses and fixing every flaw he found. Not long after his very first fashion show debuted, the first piece was simple and elegant. The second was flashy and glamorous. Backstage, Yves was meticulous, adjusting everything from the earrings and necklaces to the hairstyles of the models. The audience was captivated, watching so intently they barely even breathed. One particular dress, called the Lover, was soft and natural, a perfect contrast to Dior's more rigid style. The finale was a wedding dress before the model even stepped onto the runway. Applause was already filling the room. Everyone knew this was Yves's masterpiece. Seeing him in person was a rare opportunity when Yves's bowed shyly. The applause thundered through the hall, but one man stayed still, his eyes never leaving Yves. His name was Pierre. A businessman at the dinner party, he deliberately sat next to Yves. Pierre started conversations, cracking jokes with charm which made the usually reserved Yves slowly relax after the dinner. He invited Yves to the countryside for a holiday. Sensing Yves's shyness, he took him painting, took him swimming, and even wandering aimlessly. Their relationship grew quickly, breaking through all barriers for the first time. Yves this kind of happiness and even learned to take initiative. They played around like children soon after they bought a big house together and openly shared their relationship with friends.